Alrighty, folks, I want to have a conversation about digging a well before you're thirsty. What the heck am I talking about? Well, folks, you want to go raise capital. You want to build relationships. We're going to talk about the things you need to be doing now, i.e. digging a well before you're thirsty. And we're going to have this conversation with the one and only Dylan Miracle. How you doing, buddy?
I am, I'm doing great. It's been a hell of a week, been a hell of a month. Happy to be here and looking forward to Saturday. So I'm on top of the world right now.
Yeah, and I can see it, man. You're damn near floating on a cloud. It seems like these grand visions that you and I have been talking about for a while are really coming to fruition. And it really just goes to show the importance of digging a well before you're thirsty. Because again, I have seen so many people over the years get thirsty.
Yeah.
But they didn't dig the well. And let me just tell you, anytime you're thirsty and you're getting around people that are movers and shakers, they can sense desperation.
Yeah.
And there is nothing more repelling than desperation.
Totally. Yeah.
So the fact that you've done this and leading it, it's awesome. Go for it.
Yeah. Well, it's like, desperation. It's almost like the same feeling you get when there's like a used car salesman or something, and they're like desperate for a sale. It's like, you can kind of smell it. You can smell the energy almost, Yeah. So I really believe in digging the well before you need water to drink. And to unpack that, the reason I believe it is because that's kind of what I've always done by accident. And I didn't realize what I was doing until I had kind of realized until I started unpacking what I'd done. So, that being said, like examples of this in everyday life, I think a really good use of time is like, if you're just getting started in real estate, you should probably do a couple deals first. But as you're doing traction, before you need money, you should be talking to people about what you're doing. You should be taking people out to coffee and educating them on what you're doing, what you're learning. You should be probably, because media is so important these days, I think documenting what you're doing is very, very important. I know you did that way back in the day before we had TikTok and all that stuff. That's a form of leverage too. So like, these are ways that you can start digging the well before you need water to drink. Now, one of my buddies, I'll give an example. He's a pretty successful wholesaler here in the Central Valley. And I was telling him, I'm like, dude, I know you haven't done a flip yet. I know you haven't bought a rental yet, but you need to learn how to raise money. He's like, oh, but it hasn't come. I was like, no, but see, you're waiting until you need water to drink to start digging the well. That's the wrong time to do it. You need to start digging the well months, even sometimes years before you need to do that. Because then when you need water to drink, not only can you drink for yourself, but it's plentiful. You have many glasses of water you can take, and also for other people too, right? So all that to be said, I mean, I started this when specifically about raising money. The reason you want to do that, you are borrowing someone's hard-earned money and they are trusting in you. They're not trusting in the deal. The deal is helpful, but they're investing in you. If you build that relationship early, which takes time to build, and you educate people about what you're doing often, when you need opportunity, you will not feel desperate. Because if I have many people that are willing to invest in me, I can go to them with an opportunity and I'm not desperate. Hey, I have an opportunity that I'd like for you to consider to see if you want to invest in. If you don't want to do it, just let me know. Because now you have 7 other people that you can, because you dug the well so deep. And so that's an example of why I think doing it's very, very important.
Well, I just want to go back to something that I did by accident. Something we did, again, this was a long time ago. Shoot, you were a teenager back then. I created a website at the time called wealthbuildingpro.com. It doesn't exist anymore. I think there's some old archive versions that people have sent me. But basically, why did I create that site? I created that site because I wanted to document the deals that Olivia and I were doing during the GFC. Not because I was looking for anything. I was just doing it as a way to remember this time. Because I knew the GFC was going to be unique. I didn't know how unique. I didn't know how bad. I just knew, because you got to remember, the GFC came around for Olivia and I about a decade into our journey. So we had just enough
for
global financial crisis. Sorry.
Okay.
08, 2010, housing collapse, all of that. So we had been in the game for 10 years, and I knew this era was going to be very different and unique. And frankly, we were pretty active. So we created a site, and all I would do is I would name the house cute names. Like I remember one was called the Bubblegum House and one was called the Roach House. And they were just, because I didn't want to give addresses away, right? So I just called them these things. And I think I had like 6 or 7 stories. And out of nowhere, friends of mine Like people in my network were like, hey, can I take you to lunch? I'm like, sure. Why? I want to talk to you about, the Roach House or the Gumball House or whatever. I'm like, oh, you guys are reading my stuff. I was doing it for me, pretty much just like my first book. I wrote it for me. I had no idea people were going to read this stuff.
Yeah.
And pretty soon these people were throwing money at me, literally throwing money. Like, take my money. It's sitting in an account at 1% or 0.5%. And you're going to pay me 10, 12.
Yeah.
Take it. And I was like, oh my God. So again, I think the point about documenting your journey in the beginning, and you're absolutely right. Do a deal or two first, but please document what you're doing. And today, do it on video, right? If you go back to my channel on YouTube, some of my first 1,000 videos were me just walking through properties we own. So I did 56 flips from 2018 to 2020, right? So they're all there. But yeah, just document your journey. And again, don't document it with the lens like you're trying to get something from someone. Document like you're telling a story.
Yep.
Because what will happen is stories grow and chapters get added to your book. People are going to go back and read the first chapter.
Yeah.
Even though you're on chapter 9, they're going to go back and read chapter 1 and then chapter 2 and then chapter 3. And pretty soon they're going to call you saying, take my money. That's what happens.
Gosh, I love what you said. I'm going to add a frame for everyone, because social media can feel daunting. Don't try to, right now it's like a gold rush, right? So everyone, it's like, if you really want to be wealthy during the gold rush, you're probably going to sell the pickaxe to the miner, right? So a lot of people are trying to teach people how to be the best people on social media. Like, that's very marketable right now. So that to be said, don't try to be an expert. Don't even try to make it for anybody else. Make it for you 2 years from now, so that you can look back on and being like, wow, I remember doing my first flip, and now I can go back and watch a video. I can go back and watch a post. And what's really, really cool, and I know this now because I've documented the journey since I pretty much started. I wish I did more in the beginning, but I have taken videos. I've been very honest about my journey. So now when I go back and someone tells me something's not going to work or like this, I'm like, no, you can tell me it doesn't, but I know that it does, because this is
exactly. I have evidence, documented evidence.
Yes. This is documented evidence. This isn't from a book. This is from what I did. And I have a video to prove to you that I did this.
Let me show you.
It's a cool video journal to go back through. And, if nothing else, just to show yourself. And to your point, Michael, a lot of people resonate with you not trying to be super clickbaity. A lot of people resonate with you just being honest. And if you get 200 or 300 videos, it's not about that. And the reality is, 200 to 300 people in a room is a lot of freaking people. So those are real eyeballs at the end of the day. So
I'm so glad you bring that up, because again, I've heard Alex Hormozi talk about this recently, but when you're doing what we're doing, you actually don't want to go viral. Virality is a negative, because you're going to go out to these other circles that don't do what you want to do. Right. One of the reasons I'm actually pleasantly surprised that ORAT's, 70, whatever it is, 2000 or so is, everybody watches my stuff. 75% of my viewers are subscribers, which is crazy stat for a big YouTube channel. Yeah. But that's great for me, because I only want to deal with the people that are doing the work. They're in the stadium, right? I don't want to deal with drunk assholes in the parking lot.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not in the job of convincing you that the game's worth watching. If you want to be a drunk tailgater, then F you. It's not my problem, right?
Yeah. So Totally. No, and that's really, really good to hear. And I think for everyone out there, because the topic today is digging the well before you need water to drink. I think a lot of people I talk a lot about relationship building. That'll be a big part of my presentation too. A lot of people do it the wrong way. I think the best way, I always try to invert the things, right? So if my goal is to hang out with successful people, a better question is to ask, how would I guarantee myself not to hang out with successful people? One of the best ways, in my opinion, is to say what you're going to do to a successful person, and then you don't do it. That's one of the best ways to never.
Amen.
Yeah. So if we're planting seeds early and often, or we're digging the well before we need water to drink, a really good example is to tell a successful person, someone that has some accomplishments, that has done the things that they said they're going to do, and you tell them, hey, by the way, I have this crazy idea. I'm going to get started investing in real estate. And they might be well-natured. Maybe they're looking out for you. Hey, I don't know. It's kind of risky. They don't know. It's okay. And then you go do it. And then you go do it. And then you do it again. They see that. And people want to invest in people that take action on what they say and follow through. And that is how you don't even have to pitch anyone. That's the thing. Whenever I raise money, I'm not pitching anyone. I'm educating them about what I'm doing. And I give them an opportunity to learn more about it. And if they choose to invest it, they're not investing in the deal. They're investing in me. And so I'm just pitching me by just being me and being curious. So I think, yeah, I mean, and that's essentially, for those of you that have seen a couple of these podcasts with Michael and I, probably know that I'm in this transition period, and the things that I'm doing right now are pretty big things, and I don't belong in these rooms that I'm doing, but I believe I'm there, but I'm doing everything in reverse. Instead of finding the deal first, I'm finding all of my partners first and all the people that have the money first, so that when a big deal comes my way, I can take action because I got an army behind me, because I'm planting seeds early and often and digging the well very, very deep, so I can confidently take down a deal when someone says, hey, can you take down this 50? And I say, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You brought up something earlier. I just want to go back and hit. You brought up this concept of invert. And if people don't know, Charlie Munger, rest in peace.
Yeah.
His big mantra, and he gives full credit to his success by the ability to invert things. Like you said, in this case, you want to get around successful people? Well, how not to do it? And then do the opposite of that.
Yeah.
You've heard Alex Mosley talk about the power of invert. Chris Williamson has talked about it. So again, if you're out there and you're struggling, you want to do big things, and you're talking about building a well before you're thirsty, when you don't know what to do, just go do a quick Google search or ChatGPT invert and get some examples. Because really it's a mind shift. It's a mental shift. And, I would probably guesstimate that less than 2% of people even know what inverting is. And again, if it's good enough for Charlie Munger, it's good enough for all of us to at least, go study and understand.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. So again, folks, there's so many things you can do out there. Again, one of the things, to kind of go back to the closing topic Dylan talked about, I have probably had, no kidding, 10,000 conversations about getting started one rental at a time, right? Probably 20,000 now, but certainly between those two numbers. And if I was given $1 for every person that did what I said, I bet you I'd have $10.
You buy a lot with that these days. You might be able to buy
but the point is, do you know who's going to get my attention the second time? Only those people that with the $10.
Yep.
All the others I'll just ignore.
Mm-hmm.
So again, if you ever want to get around successful people, I suggest doing what they say they're going to do. If you really want to impress them, do more.
Yeah.
And that'll get their attention. They'll really want to help you then.
I'm going to add a sneaky little bonus to that too. In the beginning, when you're digging the well, it shouldn't be about pitching or what you can extract. It should be about being very genuinely curious in people and making their lives better. And so you could do that by resources you have, connections you have, or energy that you have. And a lot of people think about what I can give so I can take back. And if you approach your relationship from a lens of what I call the surplus principle, I think magic happens in the surplus. So if you over deliver more than what you ask for, and you do that over a long enough time horizon, you will have compound growth. So by the time you need water to drink, you'll have people that are itching to invest in you, just like you did for yourself, Michael. Like, you documented it, you were showing people how to do it. And then before you even realized how to raise money, you had people really saying, hey, I want you to take my money because you do the things you say you're going to do, and you've been teaching people how to do it. That's awesome. Here you go.
Literally throwing money at me. Just like, literally, like, take my $100,000, take my, it was wild. It was a wild experience. Like turning away money, pretty powerful feeling. It's like, no, I don't need it.
And exactly. And that also, just in terms of sales and stuff, like, you're coming from a true abundance place. So you're not desperate for it, and people are going to want to invest in you more. But the real reality, and this is a really good closing sentence here, is you became someone that was worth investing in. And that's why people were chasing you with their dollars.
Yeah. It's going to be fun, man. I look forward to these conversations each and every week, especially you're coming out to Vegas this week and kicking off day 2, topic 1. I can't wait for it. Dylan, where can people find you?
Yeah. Easiest place is Instagram, Dillionaire321. Also on YouTube, same thing. But that's more like vlog type stuff behind the scenes. If you want more daily lessons and stuff, Dillionaire321 on Instagram is going to be the best place to find me.
Thanks, family. See you in a few days.
All right.